Hey ladies and gentlemen, I hope your day is going great. In this video we're going to discuss fearlessness, okay? And how it is so extremely important that you start living your lives in fearlessness, okay? Because we can operate in two different states, okay? We can either operate in fearfulness or in fearlessness, right? And so you get to choose which one that is, okay? But I also have to mention another thing, right? The chosen ones, or God's children, they tend to operate in fearlessness. And the reason being is because they embrace the Holy Spirit within them. A lot of them have awoken to who they are. They've awakened to that Holy Spirit that's within them, right? So spiritual awakening, right? Like as in awakening to your spirit, to the fact that you actually have a spirit, right? And so spiritual awakening awakens you to that Holy Spirit, and you now become the vessel that's guided by that Holy Spirit that's within you, okay? In other words, you become the vessel that's guided by the Holy Spirit, and you allow it to guide you no matter what, no matter how crazy the requests are, no matter how crazy or how scary the situations might be, but you trust that everything will be okay, and that you're protected, and that things will work out for the best, basically, okay? So here's the thing, right? Most people are not aware of the Holy Spirit, right? And so a lot of people, like Derek Prince said, they actually have two spirits within them, right? So they have the Holy Spirit to be their kind of like to be their guide still, right? And to correct them when necessary, right? When it comes to certain things, like wrongdoings, right? And to be that kind of to kind of guide them from what is wrong, right? And then they also have, or more often than not, they have spirits that are they're not aware of, that are there, right? Well, of course, once again, they're not even aware of the Holy Spirit either, right? And so that's why spiritual awakening is so it's so special. It's so rare, right? Because not too many people have awakened to who they are, and to that godly presence within them, okay? And but the chosen ones, right, more often than not, because they have chosen to operate within that spirit, a lot of them are going to be put into situations, physically speaking, where their spirit or their faithfulness will be tested, okay? And where they will be placed in a lot of different situations that will require them to use their positive inner strengths, okay? And that means, they have to face certain fears, they have to be courageous, they have to be fearless, they have to help other people, okay? Because more often than not, the situations, guys, will be very different, right? And sometimes, while your average person, they're probably not going to do anything in those situations, right? They might just sit there and watch, right? The chosen one will have to step up to the plate, or they will want to. They will have no other option, basically, okay? It's that godliness within them. It's that their good heart. It's the fact that they're usually very brave. That's going to make them take action, okay, towards helping someone else that's in need, okay? This person can be experiencing, maybe it's domestic violence. One time, guys, I was in Airbnb, okay, and I had to step in because I heard the girl was getting beat up, okay? It was a black girl of color, right? She was getting beat up by a white guy, right, who was her boyfriend. Maybe I don't know who he was to her, okay? But she started screaming, and I heard the screaming, and so eventually, because of what I did, because I stepped it up, right, I became the target, which was kind of my goal, okay, actually, right? But of course I ended up closing the door so he couldn't get in. He was trying to get in. I had to, like, not only did I have to lock it, but I had to put furniture, right, kind of like in order to I had to place furniture in front of the door so I would block the door. Then I called the cops, okay? He was trying to kind of get to me, but he never did, right? And I knew he wasn't going to get to me. But I had to call the cops. I called the cops, and the girl, to my shock, she wanted to run away too. So I had to hold the girl, okay? And I had to wait for the cops to arrive, okay? More often than not, the abusers, right? Not the abusers, but the ones that are getting abused, right? They're usually they think that they're scared to say anything. They're scared to speak up, right? And so the chosen ones tend to be the voice, okay? So God gave you certain powers for a reason, okay? And your inner positive traits, they're there for a reason. They're there not just for your selfish reasons, right? To get the things that you want, for example, or to go after certain goals, right? No, they're also there to actually stand up for people, right? They're actually there to save people from, potentially very, very threatening, violent situations, right? They're there to free people. They're there um, like I said, to help people, okay, and in whichever way, right? So yeah, I ended up holding the girl, and the police got there. So we spoke, and everything was okay. But the girl was very scared. She was crying, obviously, right? I mean, he was beating her up, okay, and it was terrible. Then of course I was in another situation, guys, okay, and I was in San Francisco, right? And I had a lot of roommates. I was living in the best place. I was living in a huge loft, right? Two-story flat, two-story loft, really big. I mean, the best place ever, the best place you can ask for, basically, right? And out of all the people, of course, the guy chose me, right? That guy, that particular guy who was looking for people, right, to occupy the space, right? And so I had to share that flat with a few roommates, right? But my other roommates, they were just like, they were always gone, basically, okay? So I felt like I was living in the best place in San Francisco, in the center, basically, in the city, okay? The most important, the most expensive state, okay? And I was living in a flat basically almost by myself because the guys were never there, okay? Only at night. And at night I was sleeping, so I never saw them, okay, and it was cool, it was really nice, but at the same time I realized something, okay, and I was there for a reason, guys, okay. While all the other guys ignored the guy that was on drugs, okay, I didn't. I of course noticed that something was going on with him, right? Sometimes in the evenings when he was home, sometimes, right, I would see that he was pacing back and forth, so he was acting very strange, okay? So I realized that he was on drugs. Something told me to check the kitchen counter, okay? So I went, the kitchen drawer, okay? So I went inside the kitchen drawer, I opened it, and lo and behold, okay, he was doing drugs, okay? The drug was a similar drug to, I think, Oxycontin, right? And anyway, so the drug was similar to it has the same chemical structure as heroin, okay? So basically that's what he was on, okay? Painkillers are often used even by the medical staff, okay? They're abused and used by the medical staff, okay? And that's terrible, but it happens, okay? And so I found that and I realized that the guy was on drugs, okay? And so I had a conversation with him, okay? And I said, hey, are you okay? The guy was a Stanford graduate, okay? It seemed like, I think he was jobless, okay, and he was looking for work. I think he was very depressed. And we had a conversation, and I told him that I would hold the pills for him away from him so he wouldn't take them, okay? And so he was very surprised. He was shocked that someone was trying to help him, okay? He was so surprised that he even offered to buy me a phone, Something I think happened to my phone, and I was like, no, it's okay, But anyway, so to make a long story short, he started acting really crazy, okay? At some point, he was acting extremely crazy. He left. I think, I'm not sure where he went, right? But I think, oh yes, okay. So I think one day, right, when I think my other roommate was there and me, right, and he he basically came up to me, and I think he took a knife or something, and he tried to threaten me, right? He said, I will kill all you and your family, and I just got very freaked out by that. I was like, wow, okay, yeah. And so he seemed like he was demonically possessed, perhaps, and I think he probably was, okay. And so you know, I had to call for help, okay. And so when the guy was taken away, okay, something told me to go to his computer, okay. I went to his computer, okay, and it was still open, right? And I looked in the search and what he was doing, and he had on his computer it said how to kill your parents or something. So he was googling that information, how to kill your parents, okay. And I was just completely shocked by that information, okay, guys. I was just completely shocked, but what I was seeing. And so of course I ended up contacting his parents, okay. The parents came. It was his mom, and I told her about the situation. She was in complete shock, like it was, everything was new to her, and you know. And so she gave me a Bible, you know, and so that was interesting too. And yeah, I just, after that, yeah, the situation was over, okay. And I think the guy was okay, maybe. I'm not so sure, you know, what happened afterwards, but I moved out, of course, right? And so anyway, so yeah, so this was another situation, right? And so the chosen ones will constantly be in these situations, and the reason being is because of your heart. It's because of your bravery. It's because of your fearlessness. God knows this. God knew this, and that's the reason why you were chosen. And so a lot of people in this world, they need help, okay? You are an extremely powerful individual, okay? And the reason being is because of your inner qualities, which also change your energy. That's the reason why so many people that don't have the energy that you do and don't have the inner positive qualities that you do feel so threatened by you, okay? And they will feel extremely threatened by you. They feel like you outshine them, and you do outshine them, okay. And that's why, you know, when you meet someone, you will notice more often than not that they start just kind of comparing themselves to, placing their hips on their placing their hands on their hips, right, as to kind of signal like, oh, you know, like as to kind of gesture to you like, I'm the dominant one here, right? And so this is kind of annoying, but it tends to happen all the time, right? And you will notice this, okay? People will start comparing themselves to you. They will start asking you like, what do you do, you know? So where are you from? Who are you, right? And so because of your inner qualities, which are felt by people, okay, like I said, this changes your energy. It makes you a very powerful person, right? You basically, not only that, right, but you also have a very strong spiritual protection behind you, okay, that is unseen, but it's also felt by others, okay. So there is that too, okay. And so because of all of that, God is going to use you, and He knows you will speak up. He knows you will stand up for what is right. He knows that if you see an injustice, or if you hear about an injustice, you're going to do something about it. You're not just gonna, you know, like sit there and watch, right? You're not gonna just, you know, sit there and do nothing, right? And so a lot of chosen ones have to go through this, okay? And so, you know, on top of your everyday things that the typical person has to deal with, right? The chosen ones have to deal with extra things like that, you know, where they have to step it up in order to do something, in order to help those in need, in order to help the underdogs, right? So, guys, another situation that I just had that I will tell you about, okay, is that the chosen ones have a really good heart, right? And people can feel that. So people use you like as a a confession stand in the church, right? They're going to use you as a confession stand in the church, and they're going to tell you things that they probably never told anyone, right? So that includes adults and kids, okay? And so guys, more often than not, a lot of kids come up to me and they tell me things that I don't personally maybe want to hear, but I have to, right? And I'm faced with that information after they tell me, right? And as you guys know, kids are very open, but adults too. This can come from adults too, right? But a lot of kids, like here where I live, right? A lot of kids have told me like, oh, I'm being bullied, or so that's terrible, and I've heard this several times already, and it's very sad. All this information, of course, disturbs me. It makes me very sad, and I feel for them, so I just recently, me and my son were hanging out in our backyard, right, and his friend, he ran up to us, right, and they started hanging out, and of course he ran up to me. He likes talking to me too, and so he just came up to me and he's like, hey, one time my mom, she asked me to take a water hose and to dump it on my sister's head, and I was like, what? Are you serious? I was like, what? Why is that? Like, how's that? That's not right. Are you sure? Are you, telling the truth? He's like, yeah. He's like, I know it's not right. He's like, it's terrible, right? I'm like, yeah, it's terrible. And he's like, yeah, she was just misbehaving, and my mom told me to pour the water on her head, And so I was like, what? His sister is like 2. She's like a baby, basically. She's like running around. She's like, I think 2, right? But he said it was before, so he said it was a long time ago, right? So she must have been even younger. Like, why would you do that to a baby, right? Anyway, so I was really disturbed by this information. So of course, I called the kid over, right? And I think the kid is like around 7, right? 6 or 7. Anyways, and so I called the kid over and I said, hey, and I called the mom over, right? And I was on her balcony, right? And so I said, hey, listen, can you please, I said, kiddo, can you say whatever you just told me again in front of your mom? I just want to make sure that, what I was hearing is the truth. Because I said that the information, I told the mom, listen, the information that I just heard is very disturbing. And if this is the case, then this is called child abuse, okay? So in situations like this, guys, you will speak up, right? You're not going to be afraid, okay? You're not going to sweep the truth under the rug, okay? Because it has to be exposed, okay, guys? We are the light, okay? We expose all this darkness, okay? And that's why most of the time, these people won't even like you. Because automatically they will feel your energy. They'll feel threatened by you because they have a lot of secrets to hide. They have a lot of secrets to hide. So the dark people, right, the people that do this kind of stuff, they're not gonna like you. And guys, you best believe that the woman, right, she didn't like me right from the start. As soon as she saw me, she didn't like me, and she probably didn't even understand why. I also didn't like her, by the way. I felt her energy. She's got a dark energy around her. Something she so you could tell she had something to hide, okay? Anyway, so yeah, she seems like a good mother, right? The children have toys, I was in their apartment like once, right? They invited us in, right? The children have toys, they have books, right? And physically speaking, everything seems fine, right? We're not while you're not around them, But anyways, let's go back to the story, right? The mother, when she heard the boy say this, she got really angry at me. She told me that I was harassing her, and I was really calm and collected, and I was just being very professional. I said, hey, woman, can you please, don't insult me, okay? Don't be rude. You're acting like a child. I'm trying to have a normal conversation with you, But anyways, the woman attacked me and she just went crazy, basically. She told me that she will call the police on me. And I was like, what? I'm just trying to clear the situation because your son just told me very disturbing information about what you're doing, what you're supposedly doing, So she got very, very pissed off, and to make a long story short, we ended up reporting her, guys, okay? So I had to go to the police Then the police chief, right? She was a very nice woman. She had beautiful eyes too. And she just showed me where she actually walked with me to the child services, okay? And we, you know, we spoke, you know, and everything was okay. You know, I told them the situation. I told them what happened. She helped me translate, you know, from Bulgarian, right? And so, I reported her, you know, and so she had a couple of people show up at her house. So hopefully they will get to the bottom of this. Hopefully the truth will be exposed. You know, of course, I don't want anything to happen to the children, but they also have a dad, which is good, right? But yeah, I mean, what the woman is doing, if she is doing this, is terrible, okay? So, yeah. I also ended up telling this situation to another person that's friends with her, okay? And this other person, ironically, my son is friends with his son, and they're like best friends, you know? My son loves that guy, you know? And so, but the guy, when he got a message from me and when he read it, right, and I just kind of warned him and I wrote to him what happened, he ended up blocking me. You know, and so I was like, okay, you know, that's fine. Like, just ignore the truth, you know, ignore the truth. So that's what most people want, you know, like, is that they like to ignore the truth. They like to pretend that nothing is happening because maybe they're doing something like this to, you know, too, right? And so, of course, they're going to side with you know, the ones that are evil, right? The ones that are possibly doing the evil. So it's no surprise, okay? But as the chosen ones, guys, we're here to expose them. We're here to expose the truth. We're here to help the underdog. We're here to help people because we are fearless, okay? And we are fearless, and this fearlessness is not only great for the, you know, the projects that we go after or the situations we end up in, right? The good situations we end up with. It's not only good for that, right? It's not only good for our soul, but it's also good for other people because we're, at the end of the day, we're here to also help and uplift other people. We're here to expose these, you know, evil people that are, they think that they are getting away with this, you know, when in reality, the truth will always come to the surface. Always remember that, okay? So, yeah. That's what this video is about, okay, guys? And also, I just wanted to add, you know, if you do see situations where your brothers or sisters need help, step it up. Face your fears. You will develop your confidence like this, you know? Face your fears. Speak up. Speak out, okay? Help them. Don't just stand there. Don't just stand there and do nothing. You know, if you're seeing a girl being picked on by like a big guy, then do something. Don't, you know, speak up for the underdog. Speak up for the weaker, right? Speak out. It will, you know, like I said, it will build your own confidence, and you will also feel like a good person, which a lot of us are underneath it all, okay? And so this will just confirm it to you, you know? If you don't speak out, then you're going to feel like a coward, okay? And you're going to live your life accordingly, okay? Whereas you're not going to get anywhere, okay? Living in fear, guys, you know, by choosing to live in fear, you're not going to get anywhere in life. You're not going to accomplish anything. You're not going to accomplish any of your dreams, any of your goals, you know? And what's a life like that? Like, why even live? You know, what's the point of living your life in fear whereas you're afraid to travel, you're afraid to meet new people, whereas you know, you're afraid to speak up, to speak out for others, to stand up to certain people, you know. Anyways, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video, okay? There was a lot of truth in it, and I will see you in another video, okay? Bye.